Hey guys, so about 3 months ago, I fell into what I like to call gotcha hell. I downloaded about 12 different gotcha games and tried to play them all because I wanted a new gotcha game to play. Now, I was currently playing Star Ocean and Fate Grand Order, and while those were good, I was pretty much end game, and those end games for me don't quite do it. I'm just only waiting for events, just doing dailies in the meantime. I wanted something different. It got a little too repetitive. So I downloaded, Dragalia Lost, Epic 7, Girls Frontlines, but none of those really stuck to me too much. And I don't like tactics games, so that destroyed a lot of other games I could have played that I'm sure are very good in their own right. But I ended up with Knight's Chronicle, and it was one of the last games I played. I actually kept two, but the one I want to really focus on is Knight's Chronicle. Now, I really like this game. It's like I said, it's been about 3 months, almost to the day, and I am pretty high level, and I know I'm end game, but there's still so much more for me to do in this game. It never really gets old, and it's one of the reasons I really like it. So I'm just gonna go over some of the few things. Like if you're thinking of a new mobile game, I want to highly recommend this game, and I'm gonna show you why. Now, I'm not really going to focus on the actual story mode, the adventure mode in this game. While it isn't bad, the main reason I play it because, well, in most gacha games, the story mode just gives you so much material once you've completed it. So all this is material you get from completing it, and if you haven't played it, you may not know how great these materials are, but these are really great materials. I mean, the story isn't bad. I paid attention to a lot of it, but it's not really the main thing I want to focus on. One of the things I really wanted to focus on was the community in this game. Now, the game's overall ranking isn't very high. I think it's barely in the top 30. But when I say community, I just mean talking to other people in the game. It's one of the things I love doing in mobile games, and I wish more mobile games would incorporate this. So up here, there's a bubble. I know you guys can't see my mouse, but there's a bubble here. It's 45. So if I click on it, you get to enter all chat. And this is just showing what's going on in the community. So if I recognize one of these names, I can say, "Hey, good job! You have this thing. You got Ruby to level 6." So I can just start talking to this guy about it. And then there's guild chat, where I can specifically talk to just members of my guild, things that are going on, plans we want to do for the next ranking, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But it's one of the things I really did enjoy about this game. It's very small, it's very subtle, but I really enjoy interacting with people in the game, and it's one of the things that Star Ocean and Fate don't do, and I'd love to have that, but they just don't really incorporate it. And the other thing is when I click on, where's it, social, when I go to the guild, it's my first time logging in for the day. When I go to the guild, I can see what my members are up to. Our guild has 30 members. And then we have guild missions. And guild missions is a really good way to get a lot of really good materials every single week. So guild missions reset every week. I think I already collected all of these, so unfortunately you can't see what these chests give you, the 200, 400, 600. But pretty much once a certain amount of once our guild members work together, we can all just keep collecting points, and once we reach 200 get this chest, 400 get this chest, and it just kind of builds up like that. And it's a really good way to get materials really fast. So if you want to get materials pretty fast in this game, joining a decent guild is a good way to go. And this is actually a very interactive guild. It's a very good guild. And they were kind enough to let me join when I was extremely early on. And I wanted to make sure I was always active to show them how much I appreciated that. So I love the fact that I can just always interact with my guild. It's a very good system to me. And one of the other things I wanted to point out, and like I was saying, this game is pretty generous, and it does give you a lot of gems. It gives you a lot of opportunities to get gems just by doing random missions. Your dailies give you gems every day. If you go to achievements, you can see if I just do these couple dailies, which are extremely easy, I get 10 gems. There was just a survey the other day. You get 30 gems just for filling out the survey. So there's always a lot of ways to obtain gems in this game. So I personally don't spend it too much on rolls. I don't roll very Well, very often, because the game always gives me enough tickets or something else, so I don't always find myself rolling. Instead, I find myself in the shop, and it's one of the things I appreciate about this game is that in other gacha games, when you go to the shop, there's not really much there, and it's usually not worth it to spend your quartz for things in the shop. In this one, you can buy costumes. There's a new one. Damien got a new costume. I might have missed that. Okay. The costumes cost as much as a roll. And I'm okay with that because if you whiff on a roll, it's almost like the roll is pointless. And sort of, you can still use those people's materials, but that's a story for another video. But if you're not sure, you don't want to risk on a roll, you just get a costume. And I do like that. I want to talk about something I don't like about the costumes later. There's two aspects of this game I'm not a fan of, but they're not super big for me, and I'll explain why about that in a bit. But yeah, like I said, everyone gets costumes. Costumes give you a 7% attack buff for defense, attack, and HP, which is awesome. And also, they're just other things to buy. I think for this one, yeah, if you want to spend 100 gems on this material, it's a great deal, and I want to really buy more. I just bought some more, and they just restocked it. So the game kind of wants you to get to high level quickly because of my favorite aspect about this game, which is PvP, and put an asterisk next to that PvP, but PvP. And there's a ranking system in the game. There's 3 ranking systems in the game, actually. And it depends on which one you want to participate in. So for the first one, like I said, PvP, you go to Arena first. So there is the world leaderboard rankings, and it just keeps going down. I think it stops at 50 or 100. But yeah, these are everyone that's in, I think it's master tier or elite tier or something. Places that I'm not going to be for a very long time. And then if I wanted to fight someone right now, there's a rate up list that says earn 40% bonus if you use one of these heroes. Then there's a banned hero list. So every week there are heroes you can't use because they're banned, and you have to like kind of formulate your team around them. And I really like that. And you guys might notice Wendy Marvel here. This game has collabs. I think it's had a Full Metal Alchemist and Fairy Tail so far, and I think we're getting another one pretty soon. But yeah, so this is my team, and if I want to fight someone, just put ready, and then it finds someone, and he's a bit higher than me, but half my team's also banned. The ban list really hurt me this week, so I'm not really participating, but I can rank up. And when you rank up in arena mode, it gives you more incentives, or at least more rewards for doing so. So there's the tier list, there's the rewards. So every week I pretty much get 75 as long as I maintain my expert status, which I guarantee I will. So things like that. So like I said, this game's always giving you opportunities to get gems, and I really do appreciate the PvP. The only thing I'm going to say about the PvP is, I guess I'll say it now. I don't like the fact that it is ghosts. I'm not really fighting this person, and I'll show you. I mean, I'm just going to abandon this match just for the sake of this video, but I'm fighting them. Oops, well, okay, there we go. It's weird. I'm fighting them, but it's just their shadow. An AI is controlling this guy's team. So I can put my team out there and people can fight my team, but it's going to be an AI version of it. So it's not really me fighting the team, which is a little disappointing. I really wish they would add something about that later. It's one of the 2 things I said earlier that I'm not a fan of in this video. But hey, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not really a big deal. I'm gonna close this. This is kind of messing up my I'm not sure what's happening there, but I'm just gonna abandon that. I'll take a small hit, but it's not really a problem. But yeah, I love that, and there's a ranking for it. I try to get the highest rank as possible every week, and get the high. And you saw earlier, you get higher rewards, better rewards for the higher rank you are. Like I said, there are 3 ranks in there, and the second one is the boss challenge. So click on lobby, my bad. Let me go to challenges. You go to boss dungeon. So the boss dungeon resets every week. Well, yeah, it resets every week. There are 7 different bosses. It resets every week. Every day you get to choose the elements that, or they make you use one element to fight a boss 2 days a week. You get to use any team you want. So if I wanted to, I could just edit my team, pick a team really quick, and then fight the boss. And then it lasts 80 turns, like it says here. And then after 80 turns, depending on how much damage, how much members of my team survived, I get placed into a tier list. And then you can see the daily rank here, the highest tier lists. Oops. And I'm not going to make the top 50. So I don't really try with boss ones, honestly. My characters aren't good enough for that. But yeah, so there's a boss ranking, and then there's a daily ranking, and then there's a weekly ranking. And like I said, I didn't really participate that much. I'm 7,000th in the world, or in the server, US server. And then the last one, which is probably my favorite one, are the guild battles. So if we go back to events, guild dungeon. Oh wait, no, not guild dungeon. Sorry. PvP guild battle. So guild battles also resets every week, and they also have, I guess not necessarily ban list, but it pretty much says you shouldn't use these heroes, Verdandi, Bell, and Kane. Verdandi and Bell are my main team, so that really does suck. But it says decreases selected heroes attack by 30%, decreases selected heroes HP by 30%. So you probably don't want to use them this week or this day for guild battles. So the way it works, okay, we haven't started yet, but I can set my team's defense. I thought we could see the map actually today, so I probably can't show you guys how the map looks. But yeah, but each member of the guild pretty much has their own castle, and then the opponent can pick whose castle you want to fight. And fighting my castle is essentially fighting my own team. So if they want to fight my castle, they have to get through my team. If they beat my team, they get a star. And if they get enough stars, I think it's 60 or 70 stars, they pretty much win that guild battle. But they can only fight 3 times a day, and once they use those characters to fight my team, they can't keep fighting. So and they can't keep using those same people. So you can't just have one person steamroll a whole guild battle. It's a little complicated to show you without the castle. I apologize. I thought it was up today, but it'll be up later. But yeah, so guild battles is another way. There's a ranking with the guild battles. Sorry, I didn't mean to close out of that. There's a ranking with the guild battles, and our rank reset it to bronze this week because it just started. But I think last time we were plat 2 or plat 1. So it's another interactive and fun thing to do once you reach endgame. So it gives you the boss battles, it gives you the guild dungeon, it gives you basic PvP. And then there's guild shops, and then there's boss shops. So there's always something to do in the game. It always keeps you active. But the last thing I want to say about the game, the other thing I don't like about the game is, well, not, I guess not the last thing, but the one thing I want to say about the game that I don't like are the costumes. I'm going to go back to the costumes. So you saw me click on, I don't know, Margarita. Hers cost 200 gems. You saw me click on Ruby. Both of hers cost 200 gems. And that's awesome. That means everyone can get a free opportunity. Except some people, like Morgan, where hers costs $20. That's a pay-to-win costume, and I'm not a fan of those. There's a couple of them that are pay-to-win, Belle, Abel. And if you're wondering what the pay-to-win costumes do, well, let's click on one. Let me click on, I don't know, Abel, however you say it. So yeah, so she still gets a attack, defense, and HP buff, which is great. But she also gets these. All these ones, exclamation marks, change her stats. So everyone has a leader skill. Hers slightly changes the effect. This is her passive skill. Everyone has 2 passives. One they get at the start of and one they get when they reach max level. So this is pretty much saying that all of her passives change into something a little broken, and all of her attacks change. Everyone gets 3 skills. All 3 of her skills change. So they all just get much better, and that's pretty much the point of the PvP costume. So it's really hard to break the top 200 if you don't buy the PvP costume. It's not impossible. I've definitely seen some teams up there in the top 20 without PvP costumes, but it's a really hard trek to fight people that have the PvP costumes is all. It's one of the few things I don't like about the game, and the other thing I don't like about the game is the real-time multiplayer. The real-time multiplayer, if I go to events, if I go to special dungeon, wait for it to load. Now, these are just dungeons you can do every day. You get 5 attempts at these to get more gold. This is for more material to level up your heroes, all that stuff. And then there's events. These are like the bosses of the game that give you good material. I'm not going to get into that. But then there's multiplayer. And it's not the worst, but one, every day there's only 2, so I can only pick 2 missions to fight with my friends. Unlike Star Ocean, which I like that I can play any mission I want with all my friends. I think that's awesome. Multiplayer is not very active either because it's not so good. So if I click on multiplayer, that's a sell or combine my badges. I will do that really quick. Okay, I'm back. I had to sell some material first. I was full on inventory. So this is a recommended hero. It says if I use them, I get bonuses and blah, 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 which is cool. If I use any of these heroes down here, I get bonuses, which is, again, that's nice. I can go to quick join. Let's see what happens. So I joined this room, and this is actually a pretty good room. Normally, I never find a match this fast. Maybe because I'm on the weekends, I'm not going to join this team. I don't want to mess them up, and my Mary's not good at all. But I don't like it because there's always a lag time. There's a huge lag time, and I don't want to mess up that team for the sake of this video, personally, especially with my computer running a little slow right now, because I might lag out and kind of screw them over. But there's a lag time with it, and I get desynced all the time. I've tried it, but I keep getting desynced. And another thing about it is that you get pieces of materials, and you have to keep playing multiplayer over. Multiplayer is really just if you can't do it on your own. If you cannot do it on your own, it's the only reason to play multiplayer. I personally don't think it's that fun, but I think it's just if you can't do it on your own. But they don't give you the extremely hard ones that you'd really need it for either. So I think that's a problem. There's only a couple I can't do on my own. So I'd like to see those in multiplayer, but I've never seen them in multiplayer. So that's my main problem with multiplayer. But like I said, everything else about the game is great. The real last thing I really wanted to show you guys is what makes this game unique from a lot of other turn-based games. So you saw me play a quick game of PvP earlier, and if that team happened to be a clone of my team or extremely similar, a lot of other games, you kind of know how they work. You kind of know exactly what to do, how to fight them, how quickly they're going to go. But this game makes every team unique, even if you're fighting a clone team. Of course, their attacks, ability, and their passes will be the same, but you can give them other abilities, and I mean runes. So in this game, you can manage characters' runes, and the runes are just enhancements of the characters. Let me show you an example. So if I click on my Esna, these are the runes I have on her, and I can level them up to 1 to 15. The soft cap is 9 and 12, so that's kind of why mine are there. Getting them past 12 is kind of a trek, and I don't feel like doing it right now. But it gives them different abilities. So if I click on these 4 swords, if I click on it, it says increases my attack by 20 if I have a set of 4. So as long as I have 4 of these in my rune slots, no matter what the level, I get attack plus 20 overall. And we can see my Esna, her attack is 10,000 right now because of it. Now, and then, well, not now, but there's this one too, increases my attack chance. So if I click on it, it says 5% critical strike chance increase, which is great, and it's only a set of 2, so I only need 2 of those. So I have a crit attack chance up and just a raw damage attack up. And if I go to details, and can see exactly what my Esna is doing. So I can see that her crit chance is now 23%. So pretty much almost every fourth turn, I'm probably going to crit someone, which is great. Then my crit damage is increased by 60%. So every time I crit, my overall attack is 67% higher. You have accuracy. Some people have evasion, so you might want to use accuracy for some people like Amon. He's a tank that just evades every attack. I have multi-strike, which is pretty much if I attack once, I get to attack again for free, 16% chance. Counter, and then there's counter attack. If I'm hit, I get to attack them back for free without wasting a turn. So, and then you can also see right here with the runes, these are what my runes increase overall. So, even though that I'm fighting another Esna, that's her name, even though I'm fighting another Esna, she might not have this attack. She might have something that says, you know, she has a 40% chance of poisoning me, and she has evade up. So maybe this Esna, I want to focus on fighting her a different way than just focus on fighting the way my Esna is, which is just raw damage and try to kill her as quick as possible. Maybe that's a poison her back or burn her back. And then there are runes that say things like, I'm accidentally clicking my mouse a lot. Then there are runes that say things like increase attack damage if the person has a status ailment. And there are a lot of different kinds of status ailments. I think, oh no, not settings. If I go to the question mark here, if I go to skill effects, there's buffs, all these different kinds of buffs and all these different kinds of debuffs. If you freeze, it's the status ailment. You can make a freeze team, you can make a stun team, a brand team. Brand just means they take more damage. You can have a silence team, a sneak team. There's so many different ways to build your characters and teams in combination. And even whereas the order that you put your teams in matter. So if I go to heroes and I go to edit team, this girl puts a shield on the two members touching her. So if I have two squishy members, maybe I want to protect them. So there are just so many different ways to play this game, and there's so many different ways to build your team. And then there's so many different things to do when fighting other people for maybe the PvP or the boss dungeon. The game just never feels like I'm getting bored or old. So that's probably my favorite part about the game. Farming runes suck. I hate them. But at the same time, they make the game so unique, I can't help but to love them. And that's pretty much it. I kind of want to go over just what I really feel about this game. Almost like my 3 months impressions in this game. I don't think I'm going to stop playing it. And I haven't stopped playing Star Ocean, and I haven't stopped playing Fate Grand Order. I'm taking a break from Fate, but I put too much money into Fate to honestly stop playing it. So that's just my quick thoughts about this game. And I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. This has been Channel Shadow Moses. Thanks. No, I know. I need a roll, guys. So let's get to it. You guys heard me say earlier I don't like rolling too much. I really don't, because I think there's better things to do. But one, I said I'll do it in the video, and two, I really need another water person. I have a water team. I actually want to level up all the water people to who I started with, and I kind of want to just keep going with that. So Tarkus is a water person. So, oh boy, let's do it. This is gonna hurt. All right, let's roll for Tarkus. Hope I get him the first time, so I don't have to roll again. And another thing about this roll, you may or may not like it. When you roll, it shows you your best character first. So if you don't get, well, let's see if I get it. Okay, cool. So if you don't get this, it means you're never going to get it. You don't have to watch all the rolls. Did I get Tarkus? I got Tarkus. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. I love it. One roll for the win. All right. I'd like to go next. And since I get two, I'll be surprised. But I mean, who knows? Yeah, okay. That's just an SR. They're not very, they're just materials. I'll just use them as farming materials, honestly. But I got Tarkus. I got bonus rewards. I only spent 200 gems. That is a great day for me. So I'm just going to stop right there. So for real this time, this has been Channel Shadow Moses. Thanks, guys.